Strong emotions can impair you just the same as taking alcohol or a controlled substance. Any condition that interferes with your judgment, your reasoning abilities, makes you an unsafe driver. Emotional distress of any kind, anger, sadness, depression, anxiety, any of these emotions can affect your concentration and your ability to make clear decisions. Just like when you take alcohol or another drug, it's up to you to take responsibility for your own behavior and your own judgment. You have to recognize when you're not in the proper condition to be behind the wheel. Anger is a very dangerous emotional state. As a driving community, we're now only beginning to address the subject of road rage, letting other drivers' bad habits provoke you to become hostile. But you might be feeling anger even before you get back into your vehicle. And that's when you have to take a good look at yourself and decide whether you can calm yourself down. Maybe you just had a fight with someone you love, or something happened to you at work to make you upset. Can you let those feelings go before you start driving? If you can't, you are driving impaired. You become impulsive, taking unnecessary risk, and reacting irrationally to other drivers. If you can't control your anger, stay off the road. Take a walk or do some breathing exercises until you can calm yourself down. Feelings of sadness, depression, or anxiety can also impair your driving. You're less alert. You're not giving your full concentration to driving safely. These kinds of emotions can last a long time, and it's important for you to recognize when you're not capable of driving your best. If you have to, find someone else to drive during that time that you're recovering from strong emotions like these. But don't risk getting behind the wheel when you're preoccupied with other problems. Even happiness can be a dangerous emotional state. If you're daydreaming or too busy thinking about some good news that you received to focus on safe driving, you can also create an unsafe situation. Just remember to always be aware of your state of mind. Any kind of distress or strong emotion can interfere with your driving abilities, making you an impaired driver, one who is endangering others and violating the law by being on the road. Try to look at yourself objectively and decide if you really have the focus and alertness you need to safely use a motor vehicle. If you have any doubt, wait. Give yourself time to calm down and concentrate on safe driving. Do you know what aggressive driving is? It's driving in a way that shows a lack of courtesy to other drivers and creates dangerous situations. Now, at one time or another, we can all catch ourselves driving aggressively, and the most important way to prevent it is to be aware of our own behavior. Let's try to increase our awareness right now by taking this quick self-assessment test. Stop the tape for a minute and get hold of some paper and something to write with. I'll ask you some questions about your own behavior, and all you have to do is write down a number between 1 and 4 that you think describes yourself the best. For example, suppose I ask you how much time you spend thinking negative thoughts when you're driving. You would write down 1 if you never think negative thoughts while driving, 2 if you sometimes have negative thoughts, 3 if it happens a lot, and 4 if you feel negative all the time while you're driving. It's simple. Just be honest with yourself and pause this tape if you have to take a minute to think about any questions. Are you ready? Let's go. First, we're going to look at your level of road annoyance. Number 1, when you become annoyed with another driver, how often do you find yourself cursing out loud or muttering to yourself? Number 2, when someone cuts you off, how annoyed do you become generally? Now mark from 1 to 4, rank yourself on that. Number 3, when someone in front of you is going too slowly, how annoyed do you become? Number 4, how annoyed are you when someone tailgates you? Number 5, if you're involved in a fender bender, how annoyed do you become? Number 6, if other drivers make obscene gestures at you for what they perceive to be your mistakes, how annoyed do you become? Number 7, if other drivers beat their horns at you for what they perceive to be your mistakes, how much does that annoy you? Number 8, when you're stuck in traffic, how annoyed do you become? Number 9, If someone takes your parking space, how much does that annoy you? And number 10, when you get annoyed while driving, do you find it affects your life after you get out of the car? What was your average score for these questions?